So we're back with our year-end wrap-up. We can't talk about politics in 2021 without talking about January 6th. For the Republican Party nationally and locally, is everything still being viewed through the lens of January 6th and Donald Trump, Rob?
Well, it's certainly being viewed through the Trump lens. And Trump is a mountain that Republicans either have to get over or get around. The problem is it's a two-edged sword because he's a potent political force for Republicans. We have to remember he got 11 million more votes in 2020 than he did in 2016. Those were all new GOP voters or GOP voters who often don't come to the polls. So a lot of Republicans in Congress need Trump to get their voters out, but at the same time, he really wounds them in the suburbs, and that's a problem as well.
Marianne, do you see it affecting us locally as well as nationally?
There's no question. You have Jeff Deal, Trump's proxy, in Massachusetts. Look at him a week or two ago. He showed up at City Hall without a mask, to condemn Michelle Wu's vaccine mandate, out there chanting USA, when Trump, Deal, and Republicans in January 6th are inextricably linked. They're the ones who are undermining our democracy. They're the ones who aren't helping anybody for anything. They're the ones who are happy to overthrow our government and undo our elections. Every election has to be taken seriously, and as much as I don't want to take Jeff Deal seriously, you have to. And by the way, he should be banned from every public forum unless and until he brings evidence that the 2020 election that he claimed here in Massachusetts was fraudulent. Show your work, buddy.
Well, there's also been talk about Trump possibly running for Speaker, even if he doesn't even run for Congress. You don't have to be a member of Congress technically or legally to be the Speaker. Do you put any value in that gossip or that talk? And Trump says he would consider it.
Yeah, fantasy land. Yeah.
What a mistake, okay? Everyone said Trump wouldn't be the nominee. Everyone said Trump wouldn't go to the White House. Everyone said Trump would never, undo the 2020 election.
You never
Here
know.
we are.
So you're not dismissing
No,
it?
you can't. You can't.
All right, look, Trump supporters, you just mentioned it, Marianne. Trump supporters have had a grip on state party leadership. So will this last through 2022 and the big gubernatorial election, which sits at the end of this year with Jeff Deal leading the Trump charge? Is this going to last?
It looks that way. I mean, I don't understand why the Massachusetts Republicans, who are not Jeff Deal and the people who adhere to Donald Trump, don't stand up to them. I mean, I just don't get it. And if you're not desperate now, define desperate to me. So there aren't two parties in this state now. There's Democrats, there are unenrolled voters, and then you've got Trump, okay? The Republican Party doesn't exist anymore. It is simply a proxy of Trump.
Rob?
Well, we'll see. I think that the Republican Party will come back in this state. Whether it comes back for this election, I'm not sure. I think many Republicans realize that Trump is a detriment here. He got 11 million more votes across the country, as I said, but he underperformed here in Massachusetts. He got a far lower percentage than George W. Bush or other Republican nominees. So he hurts here. Republicans who don't realize that are doomed to lose the next election.
So my next question, obviously, is how desperate should the moderate non-Trump Republicans be to find their own candidate to run for governor?
Well, Jeff Deal right now is not polling well enough to win. He's not raising enough money to win. So if Republicans want to win, they've got to get a different candidate, most likely, who can spend $20 million plus. The problem is that. Go ahead, Ed,
I was just going to say, who might that be?
Right.
I'm going to put it. Is Andrew Lelling in that? Andrew
Lelling is a name that's out there. Brian Shortsleeve, who helped fix the MBTA, is a name that's out there. But there aren't a lot of names out there. Republicans have a short bench in this state. Jeff Deal could well be the nominee. Somebody may not step up.
You are pretty hooked into the Republican Party. So my question is, do you hear anybody making calls about raising money, about showing any interest whatsoever yet?
I mean, there's some activity, but not a lot. Some of it may be waiting for Healy, because Healy may not be as beatable for Republicans as the current crop of Democratic candidates. If she gets in, she may scare other Republicans off.
Interesting point. No, Marianne?
I don't disagree with Rob. I mean, but here's the problem for Republicans. Jeff Deal thinks he gets the 1.1 million votes that were cast in Massachusetts for Donald Trump. 32% Donald Trump got in Massachusetts. That's not nothing. So if you want to get through the Republican primary, you got to go over those voters who are going to have Trump and Deal here all day long. Massachusetts voters cannot underestimate the role Donald Trump will play in Massachusetts, especially since it's so conveniently located next to New Hampshire.
They have to find another Charlie Baker.
I
Is
mean,
that
here's
fair
the
to say?
thing,
Right.
Democrat or Republican, if you can't raise the money, you know, I may be critical of Jeff Deal's campaign because he can't raise the money. He hasn't shown the ability to raise the money. I would say the same thing about the current crop of Democratic candidates. They haven't shown the ability to raise the money to be a legitimate candidate. It costs $20 million to win the governor's race here. If you can't raise that money, Democrat or Republican, I'm not going to give you a good chance to win.
Maura Healey and Marty Walsh both have multiple millions of dollars in the bank account. They can raise it.
When we come
Well,
back.
And neither of them are running
They
yet,
can.
Yeah.
which is what he was
Yeah.
That's right.
waiting for.
The current crop, I would
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
the B team
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.